The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling. Book 12, containing the same individual time with the former. By Henry Fielding, narrated by Sam Kusi. Chapter 1. Showing what is to be deemed plagiarism in the modern author, and what is to be considered as lawful prize. The learned reader must have observed that, in the course of this mighty work, I have often translated passages out of the best ancient authors, without quoting the original, or without taking the least notice of the book from whence they were borrowed. This conduct in writing is placed in a very proper light by the ingenious Abbé Banier, in his preface to his Mythology, a work of great erudition and of equal judgment. It will be easy, says he, for the reader to observe that I have frequently had greater regard to him than to my own reputation, for an author certainly pays him a considerable compliment when, for his sake, he suppresses learned quotations that come in his way, and which would have cost him but the bare trouble of transcribing. To fill up a work with these scraps may, indeed, be considered as a downright cheat on the learned world, who are by such means imposed upon to buy a second time, in fragments and by retail, what they have already engrossed, if not in their memories, upon their shelves, and it is still more cruel upon the illiterate, who are drawn in to pay for what is of no manner of use to them. A writer who intermixes great quantity of Greek and Latin with his works deals by the ladies and fine gentlemen in the same paltry manner with which they are treated by the auctioneers, who often endeavour so to confound and mix up their lots that, in order to purchase the commodity you want, you are obliged at the same time to purchase that which will do you no service. And yet, as there is no conduct so fair and disinterested but that it may be misunderstood by ignorance, and misrepresented by malice, I have been sometimes tempted to preserve my own reputation at the expense of my reader, and to transcribe the original, or at least to quote chapter and verse whenever I have made use either of the thought or expression of another. I am, indeed, in some doubt that I have often suffered by the contrary method, and that, by suppressing the original author's name, I have been rather suspected of plagiarism than reputed to act from the amiable motive assigned by that justly celebrated Frenchman. Now, to obviate all such imputations for the future, I do here confess and justify the fact. The ancients may be considered as a rich common, where every person who hath the smallest tenement in Parnassus
Sample complete. Ready to continue?